Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked around and wondered why so many people settle? Why they give up before they even try? Why they spend years complaining about their lives but never take a step to change them? Now here's the truth that most people won't tell you. Success isn't about money. It's not about who your parents were. It's not even about how smart you are. It's about how you think. Because if you think like the top 1%, you eventually become the top 1%. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what those mental patterns look like. The thoughts, the mindset, the behaviors that silently separate the winners from the watchers. This isn't fluff. This is real. And by the end of this video, you'll know one thing for sure. Whether you're already ahead or whether it's time to shift how you think before life passes you by. So sit back, listen closely, and maybe even take notes. This might be the video that wakes you up. Let's begin. Here's one of the biggest differences between the average person and someone in the top 1%. Scarcity versus abundance. Average thinking sounds like this. There's not enough for everyone. If they win, I lose. Money is hard to get. Success is rare. But top 1% thinking? That's completely different. They think, there's more than enough to go around. Other people's success doesn't take away from mine. If I create value, the rewards will come. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people walking into a job interview. The first one is nervous, doubtful. He thinks, I hope they like me. I hope I get lucky. The second walks in with quiet confidence. She's prepared. She's thinking, if this doesn't work, something better will. I bring value. I create opportunities. Who do you think gets the job? Exactly. Scarcity shrinks your world. Abundance expands it. And this one shift alone, this one way of thinking, is often the line between those who stay stuck and those who rise. Let me tell you what most people do. They want everything now. Fast money, instant results. They quit if it doesn't work in a week. But the top 1%, they think long-term. They understand that the most valuable things in life, we're talking about real wealth, real health, deep relationships, impact, mastery. These things take time. They plant the seed, they water it every day, and they wait patiently because they know the harvest always comes. Think about it like this. Would you rather take $100 today or $1,000 a year from now? Most people pick the $100, but those who win in life, they build for the 1,000 and beyond. That's why they invest. That's why they read. That's why they build habits no one sees, while everyone else is busy chasing likes, scrolling endlessly, wasting time. Let me say this clearly. Success is never an accident. It's a result of thinking long-term when everyone else is stuck in the moment. Here's a hard truth. If you blame the world for your problems, you've already lost. Because when you give away responsibility, you give away power. The top 1%, they own everything. Their mistakes, their failures, even the things that weren't their fault. Why? Because if it's your fault, you can fix it. But if it's someone else's fault, you're stuck. Now I get it. Life can be unfair. Some people are born with more than others. But the most dangerous mindset is the one that says, I can't succeed because of X, because that thought alone kills all action. The 1% don't wait for a hero. They become their own. They take the pain, the failure, the past, and they build something with it. Most people chase results. They want the trophy, the money, the recognition. But here's what separates the best from the rest. The 1% fall in love with the process. They love the gym sessions, not just the six-pack. They love writing, not just the published book. They love building, not just the business that comes from it. Why does this matter? Because if you only love the outcome, you'll quit the moment it gets hard. But if you love the process, you'll keep going, no matter what. That's how consistency is built. That's how greatness is born. Real results come from quiet, boring, consistent effort, day after day without applause. Here's another mindset shift you'll find in the top 1%. They don't avoid criticism. They use it. See, most people get offended. They hear something they don't like, and they shut down. But the 1%? They listen. Not because they enjoy being told they're wrong, but because every piece of feedback is a chance to get better. They know growth isn't always comfortable, but it's always worth it. If someone tells them, "You messed this up," they don't cry about it. They fix it. Because here's the truth. If you're not willing to be wrong, you'll never grow. And if you're not growing, you're falling behind. You know that voice in your head? The one that says things like, "You're not good enough. You always mess things up. Why even try?" That voice is a liar. The top 1%, they've trained their inner voice, not to be fake, not to lie, but to remind themselves of who they really are. I've made mistakes, but I've learned. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm better than I was. I don't know how yet, but I'll figure it out. Self-talk is the first battle. Win it, and you've already started to win the war. The moment you think you know everything, you stop growing. The 1%, they never stop asking questions. How can I get better? What don't I know yet? Who can I learn from? They read books. They seek mentors. They watch videos like this, not for entertainment, but transformation. If you're not feeding your mind daily, you're falling into comfort. And comfort is the enemy of growth. Let's be honest. Motivation fades. Discipline doesn't. The 1% don't rely on how they feel. They rely on what they've committed to. They don't skip workouts because they're tired. They don't procrastinate because they're not in the mood. They follow through because they said they would. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build a stronger mind. This one might surprise you. The top 1% don't just think about today. They think about their future family, their future self, their legacy. How will my actions today affect who I become tomorrow? What am I leaving behind? How will I be remembered? This kind of thinking changes everything, because when you live for more than just yourself, your purpose multiplies, your pain has meaning, and your actions gain power. So now I'll ask you again, how do you think? Are you thinking like the masses, reacting, complaining, avoiding responsibility? Or are you starting to think like the 1%, taking ownership, staying disciplined, learning daily, and building a life that matters? Because here's the truth. You don't need a fancy degree. You don't need 1 million followers. You don't even need all the answers right now. What you need is a shift, a mindset shift. If you start thinking differently, your life will follow. And if you've made it this far in the video, then you're already on the path. You're not like most people. Most people would have clicked away by now, but not you. So here's what I want you to do. If this message hit you, if even one part of this woke something up inside you, don't let it fade. Comment below the one mindset shift you're going to commit to today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Then hit that subscribe button. Because this channel, it's not for the average. It's for those ready to think differently, live intentionally, and build a life they're proud of. You've got this. And I'll see you in the next one.